All right, so we'll spend the second day talking about this. Spend some time working on these word problems. They're always challenging. So we'll start here with some of these harder ones with the distribution. So I'm going to do this problem right here. So we got 3x plus 1 plus 6 equals negative 9. So talked about yesterday, the first thing we need to do is simplify each side before we do any of the inverse operations. So I see this with the parentheses here, and I'm thinking distribute. So that gives me 3x plus 3 plus 6 equals negative 9. Again, we simplify one whole side before we start doing any inverse operations. So I want to simplify those first. So don't get ahead of yourself. Now we've got some inverse operations. Now I need to subtract 9 on both sides. So 3x equals negative 18. Now I'm going to divide by 3. X equals negative 6. Simplify one side completely before you start doing any inverse operations. Here we go again. Let's, I'm going to do this problem right here. I know there's a glare a little bit. So we got now, most of you, by the time you took the test last week, were pretty good, but some people are still jumping to this addition out here. Don't fall for it. It's a trick. You see the distribution, do the distribution first. So I've got to distribute this 4. I am not touching 5 plus 8d minus 12. Still simplify and clean up one side of the equation first. I've got like terms. I've got to take care of that. So I've got 15 equals. The order you write this, I like putting variables first. So I'm going 8d minus 7. Next step. Now I can start doing my inverse operations. Did I do something wrong here? No? All right. Because this is not coming out to be a whole number, and I kind of expected it to, but we'll see. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. So you put that in the calculator. 22 divided by 8 is 2.5? 2.75? 2.75. So is that the correct answer? You get a decimal, you're not quite sure. So let's find out. $2.75 is my answer. I don't know if it's right or not. So this is the kind of thing that you guys need to be doing when you're working through a problem. You get an answer, you're not quite sure, check your answer, check your work. Go back to the original problem. Plug in your answer. And work it out. See if it comes out. So, again, order of operations. I'm inside my parentheses. 2 times 2.75 is 4, 5.5. 5.5 minus 3 is 2.5. Uh, 4 times 2.5 is 10. It worked. So, you do a problem, you get an answer. If you like it, you're comfortable with it, good. If you don't like it, check your work and see if it comes out to be true. All right? When you're checking, notice I'm not doing inverse operations. I'm keeping everything on the same side, see if it comes out to be the same. Also, know and remember your order of operations. Don't jump out here and fall for this eye candy out here. Inside parentheses, in parentheses, multiplication, add or subtract. All right, I want to get to a couple of word problems today. So, we did did that one. Let's jump to a word problem here. So this one gives us the formula. D equals 1/2 n plus 26. So it tells me that's the formula for nozzle pressure N in pounds per square inch of a fire hose, and the maximum horizontal distance of the water reaches in D feet. So it tells me what the variables represent in here. So D is horizontal distance, N is the pounds per square inch. How much pressure is needed to reach a fire 50 feet away? So it's telling me 50 feet away. That's horizontal distance, that's D. So this one gives me the equation I'm using. D equals 1/2 n plus 26. Tells me to substitute 50 for D. So it gives me the equation, gives me a number to plug in. I solve the equation to finish the problem. Minus 26, minus 26. 24 is 1/2 n. I'm running out of room. N is 48. So I know it's 48 pounds per square inch for this problem. It gave me the formula, gave me a number to plug in, and then I solved the equation. Now some word problems, you need to figure out. So this one's a little small. I'll zoom in so you can read it. And then zoom back out here. So it says, your school's drama club charges $4 per person for admission to a play. The club borrowed $400 to pay for costumes and props. After paying back the loan, the club has a profit of $100. How many people attended the play? It does not give you an equation, so you need to make your own. So what kind of strategy? Again, think about the problem. How does real life work? Well, I'm not even going to start with numbers, variables, or letters. I'm going to start with just kind of thinking. I've got my income. That looks terrible and you probably can't read it, so let's do this again. So the amount of money that I made minus my loan equals profit. Okay? Nothing complicated there, makes perfect sense. So I'm starting this problem by thinking about just life. How do things work? Income minus loan equals profit. Well, my income is ticket sales. $4 per person. Okay? So I'm going to call this 4P. P, of course, is the people, how many people came walking through the door. My loan, it says borrowed $400 to pay for costumes and props. So my loan, $400. My profit is $100. So I would not have come up with this equation right off the top of my head. But by thinking about a normal, how do things work, income minus loan equals profit, figure out what your income is, loan, profit. Now I have an equation I can work from. Now I have something I can solve. Plus 400, plus 400, 4P equals 500. I know 125 people walk through the door. There's no just guessing, okay? Write an equation that you came up with by thinking about the situation. All right, let's do one more. You have 96 feet of fencing to enclose a rectangular pen for your dog. To provide sufficient running space for your dog to exercise, the pen should be 3 times as long as it is wide. Find the dimensions of the pen. So, I'm building a dog run. I have 96 feet total to wrap around my dog run. It is 3 times wider, 3 times as long as it is wide. Okay, do I know? No, if I don't know something, it's variable. I don't know how wide to make the pen. But I know that this is 3 times that. So, the other thing that I need to think about, 96 feet of fencing. Is that area or is that perimeter? If it's a fence, that's perimeter. So I also need fence down here and fence over here. So I have 96 feet of fencing, 96. The perimeter of my rectangle equals 96. Now, if you know the perimeter formula, by the way, you could always come with 2. That's the actual perimeter formula. 2 length plus width equals perimeter. That's the actual perimeter formula. If you remember that, you could do that. You'll get the exact same answer. A little distribution and solving, or just a bunch of combining like terms. Okay, either one will work. If I add this all up, remember this is 1 x's, so 1, 4, 5, 8 x, divide by 8, x is 12. I need the dimensions of the pen, so x is 12. If I plug it back in here, 3 times 12, 3x is 36, so the width is 12. The length is 36. All right, word problems. You gotta be good at word problems, okay? Gotta be able to apply that solving equations stuff. So that is your lesson for today. Complete the assignment on big ideas. Hit me up with questions. Later.